again with another video. Thank you all so much for watching. So this video is about John McCain. And now I'm a huge fan of John McCain, and I ultimately wish he would have been president at some point in time, because I just find him fascinating in the sense of, what would he have done as president? What would he have done if he won the Republican primary in 2000? How would he have been different president than Bush, or how would he have handled winning in 2008, for instance? But we're going to actually just talk about what if he won the Republican primary in 2000. And so ultimately 2000 was Bush v. Gore. Obviously everyone talks about Florida electoral college votes, but not a lot of people talk about states like New Hampshire or Iowa or New Mexico. That could have ultimately shifted it one way or the other. So if Gore won it, then congratulations, Al Gore, you won the presidency with exactly 270. Or if Iowa went to Bush, he would have won by a little bit more comfortable margin. So anyways, this video is about what if John McCain won the primary in 2000. Now, ultimately, the reason why Bush chose Cheney is because, during the campaign, Republicans denounced Clinton's indiscretions with the Monica Lewinsky scandal, while Gore was critical of Bush's lack of experience. Bush was governor of Texas, but was relatively unknown on the national stage, with the exception of his last name. So he chose Cheney because Cheney had more experience in government. Now, if McCain won, then that argument of lack of experience would have essentially gone out the window, because at that point in time McCain had been a senator for a while, and the lack of experience claim would not have done as well against McCain as it did against Bush. So we're gonna shoot down to party nominations. Bush looks really young in that picture. That's wild. Yeah, so he was governor. Ultimately, Cheney was defense secretary for Bush Sr., and then ultimately he also did time in Congress as Wyoming's representative. But ultimately, the race between it was Bush versus McCain versus Keyes, Forbes, Bauer, but mostly it was between Bush and McCain. And ultimately Bush won pretty handily. Gore ultimately didn't really have any opposition in the primaries, chose Lieberman, which, I don't think that was a good decision. He could have chosen, plenty of other candidates. Evan Bayh would have been a good one. John Edwards would have been a good one. John Kerry would have been decent. Gene Shaheen would have been a good one too. I don't know. I don't know why he chose Lieberman. Lieberman doesn't excite anybody. He's very bland. But then again, so was Al Gore. So what if McCain won? It's a fascinating proposition. I think he would have pulled better than Bush. I think he still would have been a tight election, but I think states like Iowa would go. Actually, let's change. That's not Bush. We're going to go McCain. And we're going to just go by last names. I think McCain would have won Mexico, honestly. I think it would have been a more comfortable margin in Florida. So Let's look at the results. There were some really, really close states, such as Florida. So I think the 2000 election really proves that your voice really does count. Because look at this, 0.009 in a state that had, oh God, where's Florida? Over 5, even close to 6 million ballots cast. And it's decided by little over than 500 votes. So your vote definitely does matter. So New Mexico was close. Wisconsin was close. Wow, that's surprising. I think if McCain ran, I think that would have been wild. Oregon, the fact that Oregon would almost go to McCain too. It's kind of crazy because, but then again, there was also third parties involved, which is not as surprising. Ralph Nader, Pat Buchanan, Harry Brown, a whole bunch of others. You had some pretty decent third party that would have drawn down votes in other states. We're gonna keep Iowa in the Democratic column. I think Wisconsin, that would have been interesting, but I don't think Wisconsin would have gone. I think this might be a decent map. I think McCain would have won. I think it still would have been really close. Look at this, 283 to 254. Yeah, I think McCain would win that, honestly. I think Gore was a good candidate. I don't know. I just think winning a party winning 3 terms in a row is rather difficult to do in modern era. So I think that this might be a decent map. I mean, McCain might have won Wisconsin, might have won Oregon, but I'm going to keep them in the Democratic column. And if it was McCain, it definitely would not have been a 500 vote margin in Florida. Yeah. Popular vote was narrow. Electoral college vote was narrow. Yeah. Handful of close states. Maine 2nd Congressional District. I think McCain may have won that one. Maybe. 5,000 votes? Yeah, I think most states would stay the same. The fact that Wisconsin was decided by almost 5,000, Iowa by 4,000. This is crazy. This is wild. So President McCain, I think if McCain won the nomination, I think it would have been an easier go for the Republicans in 2000 with him than it would have been for Bush, because Bush v. Gore was a wild because of 25 votes in Florida, separated by a little less than 500 votes. So a little more than 500. I think McCain would have won this one. I really do. I think Gore wouldn't make it close. I think it's a very close election. So still, I don't think McCain would run away with it. But I think McCain would win by a more comfortable margin in terms of votes. And by comfortable, I only mean like 10 or 11 more votes. But when it comes to the 2000 election, 10, 11 votes in the Electoral College is comfort, is comfortability. So I think if McCain won the primary in 2000, I think he definitely would have won against Gore. I think it is, Gore put up a solid campaign in candidacy, but I think it's just really, really challenging to win as a party, win 3 consecutive times in a row for president in the modern era, unless you're Franklin Roosevelt. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.